Welcome to the Museum of Hauntology, built and operated by the Electricity Board. Before you enter the museum, there's a few things we'd like you to know. Firstly, you should make use of our spaces in whichever way you choose. Relax in darkness above the World's Fair or just watch the telly in Enfield. If you'd prefer a task, go find the code to unlock our new music room. To get around, use your thumbsticks. Your left thumbstick moves you, your right thumbstick rotates you 45 degrees. Many objects can be picked up for a better look. To do this, aim your pointer at an object and press your right grab button. Once you've grabbed an object, you control it with your right thumbstick. In your left hand you'll see your museum ticket. Aim your pointer at it and pull your trigger, and you'll be sent to the museum's courtyard. To exit the game, click Exit on your return ticket. The places you'll find here are in-between places, non-places, places of meditation and descent. Enjoy!
Recording test 8. Monorail, cable cars and subsidiary speakers. East side in all science pavilions. 1 minute 28 seconds. Recording test 8. The World's Fair 1973 welcomes you. The fair has been designed to host 30,000 guests at any one time. You may find yourself lost in science or wondering at the magnitude of our universe. Here you'll witness the marvels of British industry and be reminded of the people, places and events that made our nation what it is today. Why not visit the Royal Historic Pavilion, opened by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II? Take a piece of the fair home with you, purchase a memento at one of our 27 official gift shops, and lastly, don't forget to pick up your map and guidebook. From all of us at the 1973 World's Fair, welcome to Great Grimsby.
Cable car network has failed. Our engineers have been informed and there is no danger. Please remain calm until help arrives. Thank you for your patience.
is a beautiful country, not a litter bin. Keep Britain tidy.
fish I have. Dug holes in the earth for bones.
Okay, yeah, so I'm going to talk today then about some of the main ideas in my new book, Ghosts of My Life, which really in some ways runs parallel to, or is the other side of the kind of ideas that I deal with in capitalist realism, really. If capitalist realism is about the complete takeover of capital, of not only of culture and economy but also of the psyche, then Ghosts of My Life deals with what was thwarted by that, the traces of the outside, the persistences of exteriority in this world completely dominated by capital. But what I'm going to do today really is bring you the bad news that you already know. Which is I'm going to talk about music culture and perhaps UK music culture, especially as a symptom of temporal pathology or a temporal malaise, which can be understood at least two levels. One is the level of history itself, and this sense of historicity, a newly ubiquitous sense of the waning of historicity, to use a phrase from Frederick Jameson. Jameson's theorizations of the postmodern, which developed in the 80s, I think, now look increasingly prophetic, and what was what Jameson was theorising in the 80s is still a somewhat marginal phenomenon, still an emergent phenomenon, is now ubiquitous to the point of almost the point of invisibility, I would suggest. But I'll come back to that. What is the bad news that you already know? Well, that it's that the future has disappeared. The dimension I meant to go to the second. The second aspect of this temporal malaise is the experience of time itself, the phenomenological sense of time in everyday life. And I think, I guess my big thesis is the relationship between these two things. The more that our everyday life is taken over by the urgencies of what Jody Dean calls communicative capitalism, what Franco Berardi Bifo calls Samuel capitalism, the more that the rhythms and the dispersed attentional economies of communicative capitalism take over our life, the more that there is this difficulty in grasping a sense of the historical moment in which we live. To come back then, so what is the bad news we already know is that the dimension of the future has disappeared. That in some ways that we're marooned, we're trapped in the 20th century still. That what is it to be in the 21st century is to have 20th century culture on higher definition screens. Or 20th century culture distributed by high-speed internet, actually. So there's a strange, what ought to be a strange sense of repetition, of a clotted or blocked time, a time that's in many respects slowed down or flattened or retarded or gone backwards, where the sense of a forward momentum of culture, which isn't the same as a progress. I'm not arguing that what has disappeared is a sense of the progressive in culture, as if somehow 90s jungle had progressed above Robert Johnson. I'm not arguing that. What I'm arguing is that the thing that's disappeared is a sense of difference, or a sense of the specificity the sense of culture belonging to a specific moment, that is what has disappeared in the 21st century. So there's now a feeling that nothing ever really dies, but that's not good. That means that we are assailed on all sides by kind of zombie forms which persist forever, by revivals. Anything can come back. Anything can come back. There's a kind of we might say an excessive tolerance for the archaic. But part of the problem is since the sense of historicity has waned, has declined, it's difficult to characterize anything as archaic anymore. What does it mean to say something's archaic in a situation when practically everything feels old? The phrase that captured this for me, and which I used at the start of Ghost of My Life from Franco Berardi, is the slow cancellation of the future. The slow cancellation of the future, I think, which captures not only that sense of termination, but the gradual nature of it. Of course, it's not that the future in culture disappears overnight. It withers. It drains away. But it's, at least in terms of music culture and in the UK context, I think we can say that this waning, this disappearance, this cancellation of the future started to become evident about a decade ago.